Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my classroom at Great Futures Charter High School. And I just want to give you an introduction as you venture into my classroom from the outside. And as you see here, I have some of my posters up so that as the students walk by, subliminally, they can be able to absorb some of the concepts that they're studying. Right now, they're studying proportions and percents. And the definition of fraction is extremely important. And I'll be adding more posters to the outside of my classroom soon. So I wanted you to be able to get an idea of what it's like, and this is my bulletin board where I have three-dimensional fractals posted here and other math and science related posters of showing the connection between math and science, and that without math we wouldn't have the science, because it takes mathematical equations in order to examine different things that occur in nature and being able to understand and study it. So I'm going to take you into my classroom very shortly. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like as you would enter my classroom, and I'm going to have more posters and things posted around the room. So this is my classroom at Great Futures Charter High School in Jersey City. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have now entered my classroom, and right now I'm just going to slowly pan around so you can get an idea from multiple directions how I have my room arranged, and I have my books out, and I have my posters posted around the room. Right now, again, we're working on percents, proportions, and definition of fraction. So I have all of these posters around the room covering the various concepts that they need to know and how to do proportion equations and things like that. So I just want to pan around first so you could see and get an idea of what the room looks like. So now I've panned around to the other side of the room, and then I'm going to zoom in so you can read some of the posters that I have up here that are posted around the room. And over here I have my rules and testing policies. And as you can see here right now, I have my do now posted. And right here goes my computer, my laptop that I use along with my pen tablet. In order to do it, I use a software program called Notated. So you can see all the posters and things I have posted around the room where the students can walk around the room and copy the notes directly from the posters. So now let me slide in here. So here you see the various posters that I have here. Well, this one is the class rules. And then here we begin the posters on the percents and proportions. And right now you see here I have a poster on how to do a markup. So you can see that. And then here we have the rate and unit ratio posted here. And it's very easy for them to turn around and be able to take the notes when they're working on certain things they're given. And here's again the website that's posted. So here they have the equation, the percent of change, and I have these around the room identifying what the word of and is mean. Of means to multiply. Is in math means equals. And now let's take a look at this wall. So as you can see at this wall, again I have a percent equation. I show them step by step of how to solve such an equation. So that way you can see how I have things arranged around the room. And I'm going to put more posters in these empty spaces here dealing with what they're working on. So up here again we have using percent of change to determine discounts and markups. And I have it shown to them step by step so they can always look around the room and be able to look at some type of poster that can assist them. And down here we have this poster showing them how to do percentage change, a practical applied problem, as you can see here. And I have another one that says a $150,000 Rolls Royce was sold at an auction at a 38% discount. Determine the auction sale price. In this case, the 38% in decimal form is equal to 0.38, and we have to determine how much the yacht sold for. So I take the original 150,000 and deduct it after multiplying the 150,000 by the 38% discount in decimal form. And as you can see here, we have the problem solved right here on the wall that they can always turn to and study. So I want to assure you we have other math posters that are related to linear equations and systems of equations that they'll be getting into. And here I have the definition of percent, of how to use it. When you have a decimal or a fraction that you convert to a decimal, to turn it into a percent, you multiply by 100. And again, I have the website posted here on this back wall. And then here we have the definition of percent. So as you can see here, I have that posted here on the wall, so you see that. Definition of fraction, which is essential for studying percents and probability. It's all based on that. And as you can see here, I have my other posters posted here on complex equations and how they're used to guide and direct satellites along with other high-level equations, and other posters that show them how to use matrices and explains the history and use of it. Again, I have more pictures of three-dimensional fractals located here. And then I have another equation. Let me come around so you can see it. Another example of how to do discounts. So they can just turn around right here where they are and come here and take notes and study it if they happen to forget. So I have all these helpful hints and descriptive examples posted all around the room so they can always turn and look at an example to help them out. So as again, you can see that this is another one I show them step by step of how to do it. So I want you to see what I do in my classroom. And here, this is a equivalent units of measure. So they can also come here if they don't remember how to convert from pounds to ounces, and from feet to inches, and from kilometers to centimeters. And I handed these out as well. These were handouts. So I try to use every space possible to put examples that they can use to look around the room. So I believe in what I do, and I want you to be able to see what I do for my students. So this is another example that I have posted around the room here. And let's see here. Again, I have the website, and here goes the equivalent units of measure of how to convert from one unit to the other. Let me just slow this down, and as you can see here, I have a poster on graphs of trigonometric functions here. And again, on the door, just as they walk in or walk out, the equivalent units of measures. And here again, you have the classroom rules on participation, clearly explained and outlined of how things are laid out. And then here again, we have our classroom rules, as you can see here. And then here at the top, I have a breakdown of how their classwork and participation is broken down from the do now to the classwork to the participation points, and how it's in PowerSchool. So I have it clearly posted around the room, as you can see. And here are again the rules here. You must bring a pencil and paper to class. No food or drink in class. You must be in your uniform and obey the dress code. And here goes the testing policy. As you can see, no talking allowed. Cell phones or Chromebooks may only be used as a calculator. If you violate the testing policy, you'll receive a 0 and will be given 2 days of detention. Let's take a look along the other wall here. And you can see all the other posters I have here. Again, in the front, percent of change poster. They can look around to the front, and it's posted right here along that front wall. So I want you to be able to see that. Again, what of and is means. Of means to multiply. Is means equals. And I have posters on area and perimeter, cracking the math code of what the different words mean. As you can see here, words that mean addition, words that mean subtraction, words that mean division, words that mean multiplication. So I have all kind of essential information posted all around the room, as you can see. So let me just hold this steady here as I move this around one more time. And you can see the poster up here. We have a poster on adding and subtracting decimals, as you can see here. A close look at decimals, which are basic skills that they really need and really need to hone. And what's this poster? Let's see. This converting to and from decimals. So this is something that we always do as a class to study and have an open discussion, a whole class discussion. And here, multiplying and dividing decimals, as you can see here. And again, I have, these are mathematical generated posters, as you can see here, in 3 dimensions, and that we're using complex analysis, complex equations to generate these, and fractals. Okay, so I just wanted you to be able to see how I have get an idea of how I have my classroom arranged. So let me come on over here to the corner, and that way you can get another perspective of my classroom. Just moving things around. So again, one more time, let me just pan around them from one corner to the other. So you see all the posters and the books on the desk of how I have my classroom arranged. So just want to pan around very slowly so you can get somewhat of an idea of what it looks like as you enter my classroom. From this perspective, as you see how I have the desks arranged here, posters, and there goes my laptop and my pen tablet that I use to show work on the whiteboard. And now I'm just giving you another perspective again from the other end of the room, so you can see what it looks like from the other perspective. So I have all this information, and I'm going to be putting more posters up along all the other white spaces for all the other notes and essential concepts they're going to need. I'm going to utilize every space I can find to always have other notes up that they can always refer to and take a tour around the room. So there's always information available to them here as well, along with the website. So as you can see, I do put a lot of work into what I do. So on my next tour, you'll see these other white spaces filled in with essential notes that they can always turn to and refer to. So again, let's take a look. Right here, percent of change. Again, the classroom rules, testing policy. And we have here again, notes that they can take, they can look at while they're in class working. And you can see how I have my desks, books out. And again, here goes my laptop with my pen tablet that I use. And I have the website posted on every wall, everywhere, so that they can always be able to see it and know where to go to get more information and more help. So I hope that you enjoyed this tour of my classroom so you can see the work that I put into it. Thank you for joining me. And I'll come back with another edition as I add more information to the wall so that way you can see the information that I provide to my students to help them out. Thank you for joining me today.